Can we start? Yes? Okay. Hello. Next 20 minutes you have to sleep. So it's a boring part of the day, flash session which I'm holding. You just finished the lunch, so lay down and relax. There is nothing here to tell you, nothing new. So I am, my name is written there. I believe that half of you doesn't read Cyrillic. So it says there, Je suis Frederic. No, it says I'm Dušan Stojičević, and I'm vice chair of a Universal Acceptance Steering Group, which is a group of people inside ICANN dealing with something that we can say is crucial for our part of the world. So it's a group of people dealing with IDNs. Who knows what IDN means? Because ICANNish people such as me are full of acronyms, so please stop me if you don't understand what I'm saying. Do you know what IDN means? Okay, who knows? Misha, help me.
Internationalized domain names, just domain names that's written under your local scripts.
Okay, so it means it's not written on English alphabet. So English, Latin is a different thing. If you say Romanian are using English alphabet, it's wrong, but they are using Latin alphabet, which contains diacritical symbols, which means that they are also part of IDN story. So that's why we don't use Latin. We use English alphabet, which is more precise, I can say ASCII, but let's not go there. So let's start with this boring part of the day. What is universal acceptance? This is also something that ICANNish people use, UA, acronym, which means that what is written on the screen. So our task as Universal Acceptance Steering Group is very simple, written in one sentence. Universal acceptance ensures that all domain names and email addresses can be used by all internet-enabled applications, devices and systems. Pretty much clear, pretty much simple, but the task is big. And let's go deeper into that topic. We held yesterday side event which was on 21st floor. We are upgraded yesterday. Now I'm down and I'm downgraded to speak. So why we need to bother with this kind of domain names? Why do we need those domain names? Do we have any native English-speaking person here? No, but we all speak English. We all use English to communicate between ourselves. But as we are not, all of us, we are not native English-speaking persons, we are using domestic languages to express ourselves better. In that sense, if you want to express through domain names yourself better, then you can use your local script. What we got from yesterday's session, we got some kind of messages that I was putting in. I marked the people who was attending yesterday's session with a special sign. So if they want to complain about the messages, now it's the time, but I will take only with the sign complaints from the people with the sign, not without the sign. So what we achieved yesterday, we spoke about why we need to bother because of the cultural heritage. It brings another level of dealing with domestic economy, dealing with society problems, etc., etc. Of course, for techies and the guys who are dealing with technology, internet technology, it's a responsibility to comply with the standards. IDN domain names are all standardized. There is a full bunch of RFCs which IATF, do you know what is RFC, what is IATF? No? Yes? Okay. I heard yes, so please ask those people what it means, not me. So there is a full bunch of standards which developers from our region and outside our region, the whole world needs to follow. We have, when we comply with the standards, when we build a software application, web page, web form, whatever, with those standards, we build better user experience. We spoke a little bit yesterday about keyboards. There was raised that we need to have keyboards on our script. Mostly we have. Nowadays you can go to China, not to Huawei, so avoid Huawei. No, not avoid Huawei. I'm joking. Go to China, build keyboard for very small amount of money on any local script. So it's solvable. Probably some of you are using laptops on your local script. So you have the full system, full user experience, except one thing, domain names. So you are using, for example, you have Windows or Mac OS on your domestic language. You have the content of the website on your domestic language. Everything is domestic except IDN domain names. So if you are using also IDN domain names, you are fulfilling the user experience, best user experience, and you can understand everything on your computer. You don't need PhD or English language. You don't need to know. As I said, you are expressing yourself better on native language. And what is also raised yesterday, it was search engine optimization, SEO, is better with IDNs. So I think Google people work here. If you are using domestic script, results on your Google search will be firstly your IDNs, secondly your domestic ASCII or domain names, and then you have generic domain names. So .com, they are coming last. This is the algorithm that Google openly said that they will support IDNs through this better cell optimization. And what we spoke yesterday is that governments are having a crucial role in promoting IDNs. Basically, we don't have large number of IDNs, IDN domain names. This is not a case where private companies such as me will do a remarkable job making money out of IDNs. IDNs are a cultural thing, firstly. For money, except Russia, China, and India, there is no money in IDNs. So private companies are not interested. So we need to promote IDNs more through governments. A little bit more what we are doing in USG. I will tell you a little bit how it looks in ICANN environment. So 3 or 4 years ago, overarching theme of any ICANN meeting was IANA transition. Then after that, it was GDPR. I killed the panda. Then suddenly, last time in Kobe, last ICANN meeting, overarching theme becomes universal acceptance. Why? Because the board of ICANN said that this is the crucial thing that they need to solve in the following years. Suddenly, our group, which exists for 4 or 5 years, got the spotlight. We was on every single session. And we were surprised. We were surprised how many letters, how many statements, how many requests we get from the community about IDNs, especially IDNs. So, for example, we got a statement from Middle Eastern community we asking from ICANN and USG to solve a lot of problems with right-to-left writings in IDN world. So we got the spotlight and we were surprised and we started to reorganize ourselves as a new leadership which contains 1 USG chair and 3 vice chairs, and I am one of them. We started, of course, with the money, but also to redefine everything in USG, what we are dealing with, what are our targets for next years, etc., etc. Of course, we defined 5 verbs to UA readiness. In order for your system to become UA ready, whether it's a computer system, so your computer, or a website, or application, or only web form, there is 5 things you need to do. So this is accept, validate, store, process, and display. Those 5 things are crucial for you to be UA ready. I'm talking a little bit cryptic, even for me. So I will try to get this down to earth. So, for example, you have your email address dušan@stojičević.srb, which is valid according to standards. And I want to come to SEEDIG, and I want to book this hotel. I cannot, because the form for booking is saying dušan@stojičević.srb is not valid. Why? Because the developer of this web form is not using a standard. Proper RFC to validate my email. This is the problem with IDNs, which UASG, it's not only about booking, you can do that for buying, let's say, flight tickets or something like that. There is a lot of examples where this email address will not be validated. And of course, it's against RFCs. It's not accepted. In some systems, it's not stored. In some systems, they cannot process this, etc., or even display. So I will go quickly through everything. You will have this presentation, I hope they will share, because it's full of links where you can read more about the topics. So there is some examples what accept means. So can you write, essentially, accepting, can you write Unicode? Do you know what is Unicode? And do you know what is ASCII? And ASCII is English alphabet, American Standard Law. Unicode is a standard, so which contains all scripts in the world. So same as ASCII, but contains everything, every single, even Romanian, Serbian, I don't know, every single script, with all diacritical symbols in Latin, etc., etc. So for accept, user interface elements must support Unicode and strings up to this much characters, 256. To validate, you have on the screen what is needed. To store, for example, for emails that I was saying, Dušan at Stojičević.srb, UTF-8 is support, it's called SMTP UTF-8. This support is needed in order to swallow this address, not only to store. Process. Process. I will go quickly through this. I have 100 slides. I'm joking, no, that much. Display. So I will hold to this. If you are using your mobile phone and you are going to use your native script, from time to time you will reach the problem that application on your mobile phone is translating this domain name into something like xn -- then something on ASCII. IDN domain names are not going through the internet via Unicode. They are going via ASCII representation, which is called Punicode. So that's what you see is Punicode, and it means that your application is not displaying your native script. Display Unicode by default. Then we spoke about email addresses. I will just hold this part. You have a mailbox name, which is probably your name, So Dušan at stojičević.srb and domain part. Domain part is after @. There is no RFC for making your mailbox name. So you can use all the signs that you have, even emojis. So our working group dealing with emails is working to recommend a standard or guidelines how to open mailbox name. Usually, you're using hosting company, they provide to you email services. You can choose your mailbox name, so you can use your native script, and it's about hosting company, whether they will accept, store, and everything what I said, this mailbox name. Basically, you can use everything. To check your email, we developed a checker for EAI. EAI is email address not written on English script. You can use this link and you can check your email, existing email, so it doesn't need to be written on any other script, so you can check whether you can see, you can check whether you can send or receive your such email addresses. Who is supporting UTF-8 for emails? You have half solutions. Microsoft can receive and send. Google can receive and send messages for Dušan, but they cannot create account. Those full solutions are the downstairs. They can create account in your domestic script. Next steps for USG. Tools and resources, I will not go into details, and that's it. You have very valid email address at the end, dušan@pismo.org. Yes, Roberto. I'm using your TLD. So you can send me, I will reply to you. You can test Cyrillic address if you are using Cyrillic. If you are not using Cyrillic, there is another one, so it's not EAI. So basically, I think you're done sleeping. I think it's, if you have any question for me or something like that.
Hi, thanks. I actually sort of you answered the question, because I'm not very familiar with the topic, but if you have your email or a domain actually written in some other non-Latin script or non-English script, how do I access it, and how is this compatible? Like, if I don't have Cyrillic on my computer installed, I cannot send you an email to your Cyrillic address, may I? And how does this actually fit with what when I became involved in internet governance issues over a decade, I think ago, like, we wanted internet to remain the internet, a single space where everyone can communicate with everyone. Isn't this splintering it into different incompatible segments that cannot communicate with each other?
Okay, nice question. So I said I will not go into details, but I will go for this question. So details are, if you are using EAI, you are using two mailboxes. One is ASCII, one is on domestic script or any other script than ASCII. So you have one mailbox, two mailbox names, and when you send ASCII, I will receive. I can reply from each of those two. So it's solved on the technical level. It's not breaking the internet, and it's not working like Russians trying to isolate themselves. So it's not doing. I'm joking with Misha. It's not that this is isolating your country or something, or all others are not able to send you email. Yes, everybody is able because you have two email addresses. This is a standard. Next. Sergio.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to the question that was just asked. You don't necessarily need to type an email address. You can just click on the link on the website and it will open your email client, or you can copy and paste it from any text. So there's no necessity of you having a keyboard on your device in order to access that email service. Also, a person can send you an email from an IDN domain, and as long as it's working, you can reply to that email. Right? We see that happening with people using, let's say, Cyrillic font in their name. The mail arrives from the Latin domain name, but their actual name, first name, last name, could be in Russian or any other language.
Sergio, I must disagree with you. I will shake hands later on with the guy who posted the question, and I will give him the business card. Can he click on the business card?
Yeah, a lot of people use scanners for the business cards to add them to the address books.
It's too much complicated, so we need simpler solutions. A simple solution is in the standard, so you can print both email addresses. If he is familiar with Latin script or English script or any other script, he can type this, or he can type on Cyrillic if he is familiar with Cyrillic. Simple as that. Any other question? There.
What is happening with Asian languages that the writing script is way more complicated than the Latin languages?
Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, what is happening with the Asian languages that they have a writing system that is way more complex than the Latin languages, where they have a Latin alphabet, which is more... Latin languages are less complex, more common for the world.
So if you are asking, I didn't hear what you are asking, what languages, Asian or Asian languages. So basically you are asking for something like right to left or Arabic script, Hebrew or any other script. So it's very simple. Right to left is based on the operating system. So everything is for you, which you are using left to right, is in the mirror. So for them it's natural, and they are using the same thing but writing right to left. So when they are typing email addresses like this, they will type the same as you, but from right. So Dušan will go this way, not this way. So it's not that complicated. And we are working also with all those languages, Hindu, whatever language, every single script is already in Unicode. Also this bi-directional writing. So yes, we are dealing with all scripts, not only Cyrillic, not only Latin, not only anything else. So, and yes, you are right. These days, domain names, the largest markets for domain names are in those countries, in India, in China, in other places, Asia places, and apparently they are not familiar with Latin. So they are using mostly IDNs. And yes, we are solving those problems. There is a huge gang in ICANN solving from the script until the recommendation how to build a domain name, etc., etc. So a lot of work has been already done about those scripts.